Hi, my name's Daniel Hale, aka One Hale, and I'm here today to teach you how to use your phone when you're abroad. When you go abroad and use your gift-gaff mobile, it costs a hell of a lot more money than it does when you're in the UK, but depending on which country you're in, it may be a little bit cheaper or a little bit more expensive, but because, as you can see from this list I've got here, charges shown here are correct at the time of recording and may be subject to change in the future. It says data roaming within the EU and other selected countries is 17 pence per megabyte, but if you go outside of the Europe and go to, say, America or India or Australia, you'll be paying £5 per megabyte. So the charges do mount up quite quickly, and so because of that, what giffgaff and everybody else recommends is that instead of taking your data-hungry smartphone with you, you should take a phone like this one, the Binatone Brick, which doesn't have internet on it at all, so that way you're less likely to use the internet. And then for internet use, they recommend taking a laptop, something like this one here, which you can then use to connect to the free Wi-Fi available in pubs, clubs, McDonald's, hotels, all sorts of places around the country. So you'll get your free Wi-Fi anyway. But if you do have to take your smartphone with you, what we do recommend is switching off the data, disabling data on your phone to prevent any apps updating themselves in the background. Or if you want to be 100% sure your data is actually switched off, you can email an agent and talk to them, and they'll actually disable the data on your phone completely by disabling data on your account. But the trouble with that is when you come back to the UK, you're then going to re-contact the agents to re-enable your data when you come back. So it is easier to, say, leave your phone at home and use Wi-Fi if you can. But the other thing is any goodie bags you have on your phone or any gigabags you have on your phone will not work outside of the UK, and so you will need plenty of credit. So if you're not sure how much credit you'll need, your best bet is to set up giffgaff's auto top-up, which means that when you give them your credit card details and your credit falls below a certain amount, £3, which is the minimum, it'll top you up £10 a time, so you've then got credit available for all usage. And then looking again at this list, if you're within the EU or roaming into selected countries, the Faroe Islands, French Guiana, Gibraltar, Guadeloupe, Guernsey, Iceland, Isle of Man, Jersey, Liechtenstein, Martinique, Monaco, Norway, Reunion, San Marino or Switzerland, you'll be paying 16 pence per minute to make a phone call home to the UK. If you receive a phone call, you'll be paying 4 pence per minute. If you decide to send a text message back home, it'll cost you 5p per text message. But receiving text is 100% free. But if you decide to send a picture message to anybody in the UK, it'll cost you 16p per message. If you decide to send a picture message to anybody outside of the UK, it'll cost you 24p per picture message. So it's quite reasonable prices within Europe, but this is where it gets more expensive. If you decide to go to countries outside of Europe, the rest of the world, Australia, America, Canada, India, doesn't matter where, you'll be paying £1 per minute to make phone calls, and you'll be paying £1 per minute to receive a phone call. Text messages are 30p per text, but they're still free to receive, and the picture messages are still 16p per message. And if you send a picture message to to your friend in America, it'll cost you 24p. But this time, using your internet will now increase to £5 per megabyte, so it is quite expensive. One other thing to note, the gift-gaff to gift-gaff allowances, which give you up to 60 minutes of calling time for free, and free text messages to anybody else on gift-gaff, they don't work when you're abroad. So there's this sheet here, which is made by Darren Painter.
Image copyright Darren Painter.
And this tells you exactly how gift-gaff to gift-gaff allowances work depending on where you are in the world. So how it works is, if you're the sender and you're in the UK and you get the free gift-gaff to gift-gaff allowances no matter what, you're still in the UK, but your gift-gaff buddy abroad will be paying the roaming rates to receive your call and will get free text messages. So if I use my mobile and phone my friend abroad, I'm in the UK, so I'll get my gift-gaff to gift-gaff allowances, and they'll apply as normal. But my friend abroad, he'll be paying either 4p per minute to receive my phone call, or he'll pay £1 per minute for my phone call because he's abroad. But the difference is that if he's making a phone call to the UK to me, or he's texting me on his gift-gaff mobile, he will pay the roaming rates no matter what. So he'll pay 16p per minute to phone me from Europe, or £1 per minute to phone me from outside of Europe, or he'll pay 5p per text message in Europe, or 30p per text message from outside of Europe. So it does cost a bit more money to send text messages and phone calls when you're abroad on gift-gaff. But the difference now is if you're both abroad on your gift-gaff mobile, you'll both pay the roaming rates no matter what to make and receive text messages and phone calls. So in that case, the roaming rates will apply. But if you need to reference this list, you'll find it listed below this video, along with the roaming charges list as well. So make use of them, please.